Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stephen Follows Instructions. I'm in my Nortel shirt today. Today's episode is about something called Deno. I suppose that's how you pronounce it. The pronunciation is right here, but it doesn't... Deno? Okay. I never know how to read those things. Anyhow, here's the setup. I was messing around with Node.js today, and my thoughts wandered around to, maybe I could set up a Fediverse server, an ActivityPub server, in other words, using Node.js. All kinds of uses for one of those. So I was looking around at that. I found something called Deno, which is kind of like an alternative to Node.js. So it's a runtime, which means it's kind of like the environment that your server would run in, your JavaScript or TypeScript would run in. The browser is a kind of runtime. The Node.js is a runtime, but for your desktop or your web server. And Deno is the same sort of thing, right? So it's kind of like this container inside which your JavaScript or TypeScript script will run. So I thought, okay, I'll try to do that. So unlike usual, I'm actually a few steps into this project as I start this. Because like I said, I was just sort of puttering. But okay, so I had just earlier installed Node.js and run some scripts on that, and even managed to get it to deploy to Virtuoso. I was really pleased with myself. So I thought, okay, I'll try some of the same things anyways with Deno, and like I said, I got it installed, etc. So I'll just run through those steps. So I'm working as usual on Windows. I know the cool kids work on Linux, but I work on Windows. I'm bilingual, right? Windows and Linux. But at home on the desktop, I work on Linux. So to install Deno, you run this command, IRM, which I have never seen in my life before. So I just tried to run it, just sort of go down. Well, you can't see it with my head there, but go down into the search bar here and type CMD, and that fires up a terminal, and then try to run it, and it goes, but I did discover that if I open it up in PowerShell, it actually will run. So I just let's just kill this. Right, so you just run it. Here's the program. I don't think it'll hurt anything if I run it twice. No, okay. That's all it takes to run it. So that's pretty easy. So I installed that. So I've never heard of IRM before, and I looked it up and I couldn't even find it on Google. I don't know what it is. IRM is new to me. I did follow the additional installation instructions can be found here, where it just restated it, but in Courier. You can also use things called Scoop or Chocolatey or Winged. So it said that Deno is written in Rust, and that means when it's installed and then compiled as an executable. And so, see, install executable is probably what that says. IRM, install, I don't know. Don't know what they stand for. Yeah, see, there's a Fedify I was playing with. IRM, and see, I looked for Windows IRM and got information rights management. Sure, that's not it. Let's try IRM plus IEX. Here we go. IRM is short for Invoke REST Method. It will download a script from the website. IEX is short for Invoke Expression. It will run the script. Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty powerful. Yeah, it's safe if and only if the operator of that site is trustworthy. Yeah, so you probably shouldn't do that. But I did. I'm using, just for the record, I'm using my personal machine, and this personal machine never touches secure stuff. So, because they won't let me. All right. So anyhow, that was the first step. Actually, I imagine it's fine, but yeah. But you know, you think about it. You install scripts on your computer all the time. Anytime you download an application, that's exactly what you're doing. You know, if this had been an MSX kind of thing, it would have been the same thing. So, okay. So, second, create a TypeScript server and include the following code. So what I did there is I went to my directory called Code Projects, created a subdirectory called Deno, and then I created a file called server.ts, which I'm editing in Visual Studio Code. And you can barely see it. There is a way to make this text bigger, but I forget what it is. View. There we go. View. Appearance. Editor layout. No. Full screen Zen mode. Oh, zoom in. Control plus equals. Okay. Now is that control plus? Ah, here we go. Oh, right. Control plus is equals is the same key. Okay, that's better. So this is called server.ts. TS is TypeScript. It's like a simpler version of JavaScript, or at least that's how I understand it. So Deno serve, request, return your response, hello world. So I did that, and then it says to run your server, Deno run allownet.ts. So I'll go back to PowerShell and right click that so that you can see it there. So Deno run allownet server.ts. I'll hit enter. And now it's listening. First time I ran it, it came up with this little box saying, are you sure you want to allow this to run on the internet? Windows will block some parts of your thing. But I gave it permission because I don't care. I've already demonstrated that. And so now it's running. So let's listen to it. Localhost 8000. Hello world. Guess you don't need hello world enlarged. And that's as far as I got. So everything else now that we're doing is new. So let's come back. I'm basically doing the Deno tutorial. Okay, the Deno runtime is secure by default. Okay, so the allow net flag is required to give your code network access. Okay, that's kind of nice. All right, next step. Okay. So I don't know what's next. First steps. Okay. So, okay, welcome to Deno. If you're just getting started. Oh, okay, we're going to make, well, you're welcome to use JavaScript. Deno has built-in support for TypeScript as well. So in your terminal, create a new file, and this is the file. So let's do that. Interface person. Okay, so yeah, we're just making a little object here called person, a little function that will take person as input. P person. Okay, so the way this function works is it'll take the object of type person and it'll call it P. And then inside the function, anytime I want to refer to that object, I'll use P and then whatever the property name is. And now I can create a person and then call that function with that person. Pretty simple thing, right? So I'll copy this and we'll go back into VS Code. So we'll create a new file, call it hello.ts, and put that in. Also, it goes into the console log. Okay. Well, we'll save that. And now on localhost 8000, let's run. Oh, no, I guess I would. What would I do? This is a completely different script, so I don't want to be running the other script. So let's kill this. And now we'll go to, well, let's follow the instructions. Okay. All right. Oh, that's something else. Here we go. Okay. Deno run hello.ts. Okay. So I was right. All right. So let's come back here to PowerShell. Run.ts. All right. Okay. And it says hello. So it's not even a server yet. It's just a thing that says hello. So console log means it shows up here. If I was doing it on a web browser, console log, you don't get to see it unless you actually inspect. It's all complicated. Well, it's not that complicated, but it's one of these really useful things that JavaScript developers do. You see, if you go to a web page, and if you in Firefox click inspect, and here's the console. This console is like this terminal. So here, if it ran JavaScript and I said console log and then gave it a message, it would print the message here. So there you go. Interesting that error is still coming up. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with something else. All right. So back to not that tutorial, this tutorial. Okay. So built-in web APIs and the Deno namespace. Okay. Console site await fetch and then the log. So let's replace the contents of hello with this code. Oops. Let's Control C to stop it from running. Oh, it's already stopped. Okay. So let's replace all of this with this. Okay. So this is hello TS. And now we'll run it. Same way we did before. So, run again with allow net. Okay, y equals yes. Okay, we'll have to do it. Oh, I see. Run again with allow net to bypass this prompt. Okay. So there we go. And check that out. So a whole pile of stuff. So And I recognize, just looking at that, and I recognize that as JSON code. And oh yeah, it's JSON code in the script of a web page. Okay, so what did I get? I got something. Right. Well, I got the contents of hellodeno.com, and so, or www.deno.com. So if we went there, so we'll do this in our browser. So there's the website. But now if I view page source, that's what I got. And then there's all of that JSON code that I was recognizing. Boy, that's an awful lot of crap for just this page that says uncomplicate something. Just saying. Just saying. Anyhow. Okay. Or by using the -a to allow all permissions. Okay. All right. So run -a. For APIs that don't exist as a web standard, like accessing variables from the system environment, etc., those APIs are exposed in the Deno namespace. Replace the contents, okay, with the following. Deno serve request return response. Okay. So this will start an HTTP server, right? So this is what we had created before. So here's our new server, and now when I run it, see, now it's sitting there listening, but if I were to go to localhost, I'll reload this, right? And and see, I'll change this. Now, sometimes they update automatically. This one did not. Ooh. Oh, right. It seriously does not. Okay. So I'll have to see. These are the sorts of things you got to watch for, right? So we'll kill it and we'll restart it. Killing it, by the way, is just Control-C is killing it. There we go. Now it's running again. So it doesn't refresh live. I have to stop the server and start it. That's important to know. All right. Having lots of fun here. All right, let's move on. You know what I'm really liking, though? Clear, unambiguous, stuff works. So unusual. Okay. Learn more about web standard APIs built into Deno and the Deno namespace APIs. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Runtime security. Okay, yeah, we need that. Runtime, you must explicitly allow your code to access potential sensitive APIs like file system access, network connectivity, and access to environment variables. Yes, environment variables, and this is what actually set me off on this, carry things like the access key to an API, or passwords to a database, that kind of stuff. All right. Okay, so, interesting. So far we've been running our flag with the A. That's the most permissive. Usually we want to grant the code only the permissions it needs to run. So let's replace it with the fetch example from earlier. And we'll run it without the flag. Okay, so we'll come back here, and then we know what's going to happen if we run it without the flag. So let's kill this. Run hello.ts. Right, see, we're going to get this thingy. All right, so here's the prompt. So we could use the allow net, or we could use the -a. Fine. Okay, here we go. Importing JavaScript modules. Interesting. Most of the time you want to break up your program into multiple files. So Deno supports this through ECMA script modules. ECMA, I mean, it's JavaScript, but it's ECMA. I forget what that stands for. I used to know. Search Google for ECMA. No, it's not East Coast Music Association. That's something else. ECMA. They're just going to say it stands for ECMA. It actually used to stand for something. Maybe Wikipedia will tell me. Like I remember when it came out, and it was sort of like, why do they get to name it? You know, like, why name it after them? About ECMA script, the language of the web. Development of ECMA script. Oh, well, maybe it's not loading that. Well, it stood for something. ECMA. European Computer Manufacturers Association. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's come back to what we were doing. Okay, importing JavaScript. So you might want to break it up so that the person interface and the hello function are in a separate module. So we're going to create a new file called person.ts. Here we go. So let's do that. So we'll create the new file here. Person. Oops. Rename. Okay, we'll put the content in first, and then we'll rename it. Oh, come on. It's not letting me rename it. No. Okay. Oh, how weird. Okay, let's make a new file. This is so annoying. Oh, I mean open editors. That's why it's that stupid piece of crap. Sorry. But okay. New file. Person.ts. I wish I could just get rid of that open editors thing. It just messes me up. It never helps. Okay, so I can get rid of that. And okay, I'll save that. And this untitled one, I'll get rid of that as well. Okay. Person.ts. Okay, done. Now what? Okay. So now I import person and the function say hello from person.ts. So we'll come back here to hello, and we'll consume the module. Okay, let's just get rid of all this here. Okay, import person, and the function say hello. Okay, and now we're going to need to use these. Wrong tutorial. Okay, and so we'll create a person, and then the console log will say hello for that person. So, oops. Okay. Control S. All right. Server.ts. Now I erased that, didn't I? Control Z. No. Well, I don't think I'll need it for now. Okay. File extensions required in imports. File extensions are required when importing modules, unlike elsewhere. Import logic in Deno works as it does in a browser, where you would include the full file name of your imports. I actually prefer that. I don't want to be guessing about these things. All right, so let's run hello.ts. I don't think it's told me to do that yet, but I'm going to run it anyways. Okay, so let's run hello.ts. And here we have hello Ada. Okay. Next. Okay. Remote modules and the Deno standard library. Remote libraries. So we can load and execute code from URLs, just like we could in the script tag in the browser. So the standard library in most third-party modules are distributed this way. Okay. So for example, and here we go. Import assert equals from here, whatever that is. All right, so let's do that. We'll go back into, oh, is this a new file? Yes, it is. We're going to build, oh, we're going to create a test for the person module. Okay, so this is person test.ts, so it's a new file. Okay, person test.ts. Okay, put that in, save that. Okay, and so now we'll run the test. So let's come back to my PowerShell, run the test. Okay, you saw it downloaded it, and one passed, one failed. Okay, or one passed, zero failed rather. So let's take a look, see what happened here. So here's the test of say hello function. And we want, so this is what goes in. What should come out is hello Grace. And if that happens, then the test is passed. And it did pass. So this is kind of neat the way testing works, right? We put in something where we know what we think should happen for this function, and then we check and see if it happens for this function. Testing is an important but often unremarked feature of all of this stuff. And I will admit I'm not good at doing my testing. I'm bad, very bad. All right, back to our tutorial. Okay. Configure your project with deno.json. Okay. They don't require a configuration file by default, but sometimes it's convenient to store settings, admin scripts, etc. In a well-known location. In Deno, that file is deno.json or deno.jsonc. which is like a package.json file in Node. Okay. One of the things is to configure an import map, which will let you set aliases for frequently used modules. So, right, so imports $std stands for this. So let's create this. Deno.jsonc. Don't know what the C here is, but let's find out. JSON-C is can refer to JSON with comments. Okay. Yeah, let me see that. All right, so what was this called again? Deno.jsonc. So let's create the new file. Deno.jsonc, we'll populate it. Okay, the $sign in front of the ST. Oh, and here's the comment, right? It's optional. So just to remind us, okay, that it's an alias set up in an import map. Okay, so now we can change. Okay, see, import from and then std and then the specific module. See, okay, so the std stands for this website, and then so we don't have to restate the whole website the whole time, and then assert /mod.ts. So we can change that. So let's do that. Right, and so that's the shorter version. Oh, I can move this. I can make this a bit easier. There we go. And save. And now when I run it, and I am going to run it, it works just like it did before, which is what it's supposed to do. Okay. Node.js APIs and npm packages. Okay, this is, yeah. Deno provides a compatibility layer that enables your code to use Node.js built-in modules and third-party modules from npm. That's nice. You use them just like you would standard Deno modules, except you use Node. For example, the Express framework, very popular framework. So, okay, here we go. So we're going to create our server, or recreate our server file, server.js. So let's come in. Server, oh, is it server.js? Or? Oh, we are going to call it server.js. Okay. Huh. All right. Not TS, but JS. Okay, so server.js. And we'll put this in. So here we are, we're importing Express from NPM. I don't know. No, I guess I don't have to have NPM installed on my system for this to work. I do, but I don't think I need to. And then app get, the request, the response, send hello from Express. Okay, so we'll save that. And oh, he's not even going to tell us how to run it, but I think I know how to run it. So Deno server.js. No. Maybe demo run. I've forgotten already. Yeah, there we go. Requests read only access to CWD. Sure. I don't know what CWD is. permission denied. Run with the allow environment flag. Okay. No. Right. Okay. Oops. Control C. Run all. Now it should do something. Didn't give me any message. Let's see if it's running. Localhost 3000. There it is. It is running. Would have been nice if it gave me a message to say that it's running. You know. Just, you know. So something like console.log saying hello. Now the thing to remember is these, and this is what's really interesting and really annoying about JavaScript, these two will effectively run at the same time. So I can't count on knowing that this is finished before this is started. It's one of the things. Okay, so I'll kill that and we'll try running it and see if we get that message properly. So Control C, run it again. Yeah, still nothing, eh? Oh, right, because I didn't actually. Okay, so I'll reload. And there, saying hello. So it didn't actually say hello. It'll say hello every time I reload that page, right? See, I'll reload it again. And keep opening the wrong thing. See, saying hello twice. All right. With Node, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Configuring your IDE. Your IDE is Integrated Development Environment. A popular option is Visual Studio Code, which is in fact what I'm working with. This is Visual Studio Code. You can tell because of the logo up here. Okay. There's an official extension maintained by the Deno team. All right, so let's install the extension. Continue. Open link. Install. Okay. And then it said enable it or something. In the command palette. Okay. I love Windows in their names for things, so I'm just copying that. I believe that's the command palette. I could be wrong. No, that's nothing more than the search. Okay. Where is the command palette? What is the command palette? Well, let's look it up. This is how it gets all these windows, right? Okay. And palette. Okay, Control Shift P. This is where all commands are found. I guess that's this Control-Shift-P is the way to access it. So Control-Shift-P. Deno, initialize workplace. Okay. Enabling Deno. Oops. Server ready. Oh. So it's kind of, I was starting Deno language server, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. I don't really know what I've done there, but I guess VS Code now has a Deno server running inside it or something like that. Something like that. Okay. So it would have been nice for them to tell me here what this will do for me and why I'm doing it instead of just saying do this. But okay. Web application frameworks. Common use for Deno is building data-driven web applications. Love those. Doing that usually requires use of a higher level web framework, for example. And here are some of the frameworks. Deno Fresh is a framework designed for Deno. Hano is a lightweight web framework in the tradition of Express. Great for APIs. Compatible ones is Nuxt from Vue. This is SvelteKit. Astro. I'm not familiar with any of these. Okay. When you're ready to move into production, your easiest option would be Deno Deploy. Deno Deploy makes it easier to create fast, globally distributed serverless applications with Deno. You can also host it in pretty much any cloud environment. So it's not going to actually say how to deploy it. So Deno Deploy is a globally distributed platform. A globally distributed platform for serverless JavaScript applications. Your JavaScript, TypeScript, and WebAssembly code runs on managed servers geographically close to your users. Okay. Let's deploy your first application. It should only take a few minutes. All right. So if you haven't already, install the Deno runtime. Done and done. After Deno is installed, install the deploy control utility. Okay, so I assume I'm going to do that inside PowerShell. So we'll kill our server. All right. I'm sure there's a detach option here so that when I start the server, it's just like -D or something like that. And then the server just runs in the background so I don't have to keep killing it. All right, Deno install. All right, appears to have been deployed. Looks like there's a Deno 2 coming. Figures. All right, and let's confirm that it has installed correctly. Right, it's supposed to be D. Well, this is what happens when coders are, I don't want to say illiterate, but illiterate. Should be Deno, not Deno. Okay. I can see why. There is a rule. If the consonant following a vowel is followed by a vowel, then the first vowel is long. So here, H-E-R-E, or hero. So I guess this would be Deno. I guess I shouldn't say they were illiterate. I'm being the illiterate one here. When I'm saying Deno. It really should be Deno, following that rule. Anyhow, it works. All right. Now you're ready to deploy a Deno script. I'll have to train myself from the command line. First, we'll create a directory for the project and create a file in it called main.ts. So call it main.ts. So we'll need a new directory, I guess. There we go. And now we'll just edit that here. Okay, brand new directory, new file. What was it going to be called again? Such a short memory. Main.ts. I don't know if it's important that it be called main, but sometimes these things are important and they just don't tell you. Okay, here's my new response. Hello world. Okay, and let's see if it runs. Main.ts. That's listening. Let's go to 8,000. And there it is. Beautiful career. View page source. Just nothing but beautiful career. Okay. All right, so that's working. So, okay, it is viewable. Now let's run this code on the edge with Deno deploy. So, from that directory, we run this. Deno, or deploy ctl deploy. Okay. So let's do that. Kill this thing. Okay, deploy ctl deploy. All right, let's see what's happening here. You will be asked to authorize Deno deploy in GitHub to sign up to You will be asked to authorize Deno deploy in GitHub to sign up to Deno deploy, or to provision an access token for it. A few minutes after that, your hello world will be deployed in the Deno deploy infrastructure around the world, ready to handle all the traffic you expect. Gotta say, I'm not complaining about that. I think this opened up here. Yeah. Okay. Deploy JavaScript globally. Continue with GitHub. Okay. Now I do have a GitHub account. It would like permission to verify my identity, know which resources I can access, act on my behalf, and view my email address. Okay, I'll allow that, given that they're going to deploy my application all over the place. Okay. Now I'm going to get the corresponding message from GitHub. I can tell it's from GitHub because of the URL. I will authorize this. And now I'm on Deno. dash.deno.com account overview. Worldwide metrics, none. Okay. So this must be my project. This must be my... There it is. Hello world. Deployed brilliantly. So Let's experiment. Instead of hello world, we'll say hello Stephen. Control S. We'll deploy again. Yes, this is okay. Okay. Some deployed information. All right. View at, and there's the thing I just went to. Now I'll do it again. Now, is this new? Is this going to be different or the same? Well, let's try clicking this again. Still says hello world. Let me try reloading it. Nope, still says hello world. Let's try reloading this page. Aha! I now have two of them. This is the original one. This is the new one. Hello, Stephen. Okay. This is really cool because this will send my code super fast to anyone who wants to use it. It's not on my server, it's on this worldwide network now. Obviously there's tiers. I'm sure I can. Organizations. There's my user ID. Runtime documentation. Here's my transferred bytes. I transferred 417 bytes in and 134 bytes out. Let's check my account. Here we go. The Pro is $20 a month. I'm not about to do that just yet. I can imagine that could get more expensive. Although, why would it really? I mean, all you're doing is providing access to a script, right? Or maybe a number of scripts. Perhaps there's an upper limit. I don't know. Yeah, there's only the one tier. Access tokens. Huh. Alright, so I'm learning all kinds of stuff here. Okay, next steps. Once you've created your first deployment, you can learn what kind of apps you can run. What kind of apps can you run? Middleware, API servers, full websites, blog, chat, Calendly, clone. Yeah, I can build my own apps. Remember, I started to do this by thinking about how can I run a Fediverse server, right? So, follow the on-stream. Okay, I already did that. Right, so next steps. Check out what else you can do with deploy CTL. Do it on the command line, run it, install it, include or exclude files. That's always a good idea. Okay, so in a sense, yeah, this is kind of interesting. In a sense, deploying is similar to GitHub, except without all the crap about committing, etc. And the branches are just new projects. Each branch is a new project. You need to work that out a bit. And instead of putting it in one single GitHub server, it's put into a network of servers. A lot like Cloudflare, I guess. Okay. RESTful API server playground. Real-time app with WebSockets playground. Recurring tasks. simple HTTP server. Yeah, here's the pricing and limitations. Okay, I knew there were all kinds of plans. Yeah, there we go. Enterprise is custom. Yeah. And so there's going to be a bandwidth 200 gigabytes, 5 million requests. And I guess if you're getting more than that, yeah, you do need to contact them. So maximum size should not exceed a gigabyte. So yeah, there's some limitations, but you know, it's a deployment option. You can also put it up on any cloud server you want. It's just this one's putting it up on a whole bunch of cloud servers around the world. That's the difference, basically. And at $20, that's not bad. Yeah, 12 data centers. Okay. And then you can visit your newly deployed. So I'd have to understand how this is useful. I know it's useful. I guess what I should say is I have to understand how to make this useful. Right, so but you know, Deno names CLI command reference. So yeah, an obvious part too to this is the thing that led me to this in the first place is building a Deno Fediverse server, and I might go back to building a Node.js Fediverse server, something like that. I'm not sure. And you know, I was doing all this on Reclaim, and Reclaim has a built-in Node environment. If I wanted to build a new environment, is Deno even an option? See, there's custom container images, etc. So I don't really see an option there for it. Yeah. Anyhow, that was interesting. I hope you enjoyed that. And what we had here is an episode of Stephen Follows Instructions that did not end in disaster. So I'll end it here and wish you all a good day.